In 1969, Carlos Santana's fingers blazed across his guitar at Woodstock, turning a relatively unknown musician into a national sensation. Fast forward to 1998, that same guitar legend couldn't get a record deal. Labels reportedly considered him too old at 52, a relic of another era. Yet just 12 months later, this washed-up guitarist would release an album that sold an estimated 25 to 27 million copies, won 8 Grammy Awards, and generated an estimated $50 million for an artist the industry had abandoned. How did a man on the verge of financial ruin pull off the greatest comeback in rock history? The answer lies in an unlikely friendship, a desperate gamble, and a strategy so risky it could have destroyed his last shred of credibility. This is the true story of how a forgotten legend outsmarted the entire music industry. Born in Jalisco, Mexico, Carlos Santana learned guitar from his father, a mariachi musician. After moving to San Francisco in the 1960s, he formed a band that blended Latin percussion with blistering rock guitar, a sound no one had heard before. Their 1969 Woodstock performance changed everything. Playing through a drug-induced haze, Santana's guitar work on Soul Sacrifice became the festival's defining moment. Young Columbia executive Clive Davis signed them immediately. By 1971, Santana had released 3 multi-platinum albums. Black Magic Woman and Oye Como Va dominated radio. The band that once played for tips in San Francisco now filled Madison Square Garden. Then came the fall. The 1980s hit Santana hard. Album sales plummeted as he experimented with jazz fusion, alienating his rock audience. The band's revolving door saw 40-plus musicians come and go. Each new release sold worse than the last. The 1990s brought total collapse. His 1992 album Milagro performed poorly, peaking at number 101 on the Billboard 200. When Columbia Records dropped him in 1994 after 22 years, not a single label showed interest. At industry meetings, executives reportedly showed little interest in his new material. While contemporaries like Clapton enjoyed resurgences, Santana found himself playing casinos to half-empty rooms. Tour guarantees reportedly dropped from around $50,000 per night to as low as $10,000. In a 2000 Rolling Stone interview, February 3, 2000, Santana admitted, "I'd probably be a hobo if it wasn't for my wife, who, in 1994, helped reorganize the business side of my life." Behind the spiritual facade, Santana faced financial ruin. A desperate Santana agreed to appear in a documentary about Clive Davis. What happened next changed music history. After filming, encouraged by his wife, Santana approached Davis about signing to Arista Records. This wasn't just another pitch meeting, it was his last shot at relevance. The contrast between them couldn't have been starker. Davis, the Harvard-educated executive in tailored suits who'd built Whitney Houston's career. Santana, the spiritual guitarist who spoke about cosmic energy and burned incense during business meetings. "I had nothing to lose," Santana later revealed. "No one else would even listen to my demos." When Davis reviewed Santana's new material, he didn't sugarcoat his response. "Your songs suck." Instead of rejecting him outright, Davis made a proposition that would test Santana's ego. Collaborate with contemporary artists to bridge the generation gap. For a man who'd built his legacy on artistic independence, this was a crushing blow. EMI Records allegedly offered a competing deal worth significantly more money, but without Davis's creative direction. At 52, facing financial collapse, Santana made the hardest decision of his career. He signed with Arista for less money, but with Davis's promise, "Trust me, I can make you relevant again." Santana chose the smaller payday with Arista, trusting Davis's vision. When asked why, he simply said, "Clive knows something no one else sees." With that handshake in January 1997, Santana bet his entire legacy on a man he barely knew. The stage was set for either a career-ending embarrassment or the most unlikely comeback in rock history. Davis's strategy shocked everyone. Instead of reviving Santana's 70s sound, he proposed something radical: pair Santana's guitar with the hottest contemporary vocalists of 1998. The plan hit immediate roadblocks. When Davis's team called current hitmakers, they got brutal responses. "My artists don't collaborate with dinosaurs." Who? Not interested in career rehab projects. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Rob Thomas, frontman for Matchbox 20, had co-written a Latin-influenced song called Smooth, originally intended for George Michael. When Michael passed on it, Davis saw the perfect vehicle for Santana's comeback. When Thomas and Santana recorded Smooth, the chemistry was electric. Davis used this track to convince other artists the project wasn't just charity work. Lauryn Hill signed on fresh off her Grammy sweep. Wyclef Jean agreed to produce Maria Maria. Eric Clapton, drawn to Santana's legacy, contributed to the album. Behind the scenes, tensions mounted. The recording process fragmented across multiple studios, with some collaborators never meeting Santana in person. The budget reportedly ballooned to an estimated $3 million, an enormous gamble on a forgotten artist. Pete Ganbarg, Davis's A&R executive, became the project's secret weapon. He ensured each track balanced commercial appeal with Santana's authentic guitar voice. When Santana resisted pop-friendly production techniques, Davis stepped in. "Trust me, Carlos. I didn't bring you this far to fail you now." Santana reportedly had moments of doubt during the recording process. Davis convinced him to sleep on it. The next morning, Santana called back, "I'm in. All the way." By May 1999, with millions invested in an artist everyone else had rejected, Davis prepared to release a make-or-break album that would either resurrect Santana or end Davis's legendary hit-making streak. On June 15, 1999, Arista released Supernatural with cautious hopes of selling 500,000 copies. Store orders were modest. Music critics prepared lukewarm reviews for that 70s guitarist trying to be relevant again. Then, Smooth hit radio. The reaction was immediate. Within 48 hours, program directors across 5 formats, rock, pop, adult contemporary, Latin, and urban, called Arista demanding promotional copies. By week 3, Smooth entered Billboard's top 10. 4 weeks later, it hit number 1, where it stayed for 12 consecutive weeks, becoming the last number 1 hit of the millennium. Sales figures shocked everyone. Supernatural sold 1 million copies in its first month. By September, it passed 5 million. Retailers couldn't keep it stocked. In October, Maria Maria became Santana's second consecutive number 1 hit. A 52-year-old instrumental guitarist had somehow displaced Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and NSYNC on pop radio. The album's success was unprecedented. It topped charts in 11 countries simultaneously. By December 1999, Santana's team reportedly fielded renewed interest from record executives. The most stunning validation came at the 2000 Grammy Awards. When Supernatural won the first 2 categories, industry insiders assumed those were courtesy nods to a legend. Then it won a 3rd award, and a 4th. By night's end, Santana won 8 Grammy Awards for Supernatural, tying Michael Jackson's Thriller for the most Grammys won by an album in a single year. When Santana took the stage for his final acceptance speech, he was visibly shaking. "2 years ago, I couldn't get anyone to return my calls," he said through tears. "Tonight, I share this with everyone who's been told they're too old, too ethnic, or too different to matter anymore." Supernatural eventually sold an estimated 25 to 27 million copies worldwide, the best-selling album ever by a Hispanic artist. The recording industry that had discarded Santana now scrambled to understand how they'd missed such obvious commercial potential. The success reportedly led to second-guessing within labels that had passed on signing him. Before Supernatural, Santana faced significant financial struggles. After, he became one of rock's wealthiest performers. The numbers tell an astonishing story. With an estimated 25 to 27 million albums sold at average retail prices of $15 to $18, Supernatural generated approximately $450 million in total revenue. Music industry analysts estimate Santana earned $30 to $50 million from album sales alone after label costs and splits with collaborators. The Supernatural tour transformed his earning power overnight. Venues that had been offering him $10,000 per show suddenly paid $150,000 plus. His 1999 to 2000 world tour reportedly grossed over $15 million. Merchandise sales reportedly increased significantly. Commercial licensing exploded. Smooth appeared in movies, TV shows, and commercials, generating millions in fees. Santana's financial success opened new revenue streams. Beyond immediate earnings, Supernatural's success gave Santana financial leverage he'd never had. He reportedly renegotiated his publishing rights, though details remain unclear. He established his own merchandise company and secured unprecedented terms for future recordings. As one industry insider noted, Carlos went from begging for deals to dictating terms virtually overnight. His net worth reportedly reached an estimated $120 million by 2023. His next album, Shaman, 2002, sold an estimated 2.5 to 3 million copies, sustaining his success. For Arista Records, Supernatural generated over $100 million in profit, becoming their most lucrative release ever. The success created a seismic shift in how the industry valued legacy artists. Labels that had been discarding musicians over 40 suddenly began searching their rosters for potential comeback candidates. What makes this story truly remarkable isn't just the money, it's that no one saw it coming. In 1998, betting on a forgotten 52-year-old guitarist seemed like career suicide. By 2000, that same has-been had outperformed every teen pop sensation and hip-hop star on their own turf. For Santana, Supernatural's success fulfilled a purpose beyond wealth. The deeply spiritual guitarist saw it as divine confirmation of his life's mission. The universe wanted people to hear these messages of hope, Santana explained in a 2000 interview. The money is just energy to spread more light. He immediately founded the Milagro Foundation, Milagro meaning miracle in Spanish, dedicating millions to underprivileged children worldwide. By 2023, the foundation had reportedly distributed millions to organizations supporting youth education, healthcare, and arts programs, particularly in Hispanic communities. His philanthropy enhanced his legacy, with Santana supporting the foundation through various efforts. The comeback's most touching impact came in Santana's hometown of Outlan, Mexico. He funded construction of a music school, hospital wing, and housing development, personally visiting in 2001 to meet with families. When asked why he invested so heavily there, he simply said, "You never forget where you started, no matter how far you travel." Perhaps most remarkably, Supernatural's success gave Santana complete creative freedom. While most artists chase commercial trends after a hit, he went the opposite direction. His post-Supernatural albums explored jazz, traditional African rhythms, and deep cuts from Latin music, projects that would have been impossible without his financial security. In a 2019 NPR interview marking Supernatural's 20th anniversary, NPR Altot Latino, June 12, 2019, Santana reflected, "The greatest gift wasn't Grammy Awards or money, it was freedom. Freedom to play what's in my heart without worrying if it will sell." At 76, Santana still performs 80-plus shows annually. The guitarist who once couldn't get a record deal now turns down offers routinely. His net worth exceeds $120 million, much dedicated to philanthropy. His resurrection proved that careers labeled finished can rebound spectacularly. While countless aging rockers attempted similar comebacks, none matched Santana's success. Their fatal flaw? trying to recreate past glories rather than evolving while maintaining their essential voice. Supernatural didn't just resurrect one career, it changed how the industry viewed seasoned artists. Before Santana's comeback, the music business often overlooked veteran performers. After his 8 Grammy sweep, executives frantically searched their back catalogs for similar opportunities. This single album rewrote music industry rules. It proved older artists could dominate contemporary charts without losing authenticity. It showed Latin-infused music could achieve massive mainstream success. And it created a new blueprint for cross-generational collaborations that many would try to replicate. The most powerful aspect of Santana's comeback wasn't the money or awards. It was what it represented. A 52-year-old guitarist had conquered charts, outperformed teen pop stars, and reinvented his future without compromising his essence. The unlikeliest part? The man who orchestrated this triumph wasn't some young, innovative producer. It was 67-year-old Clive Davis, another industry veteran. Together, these two created the defining blockbuster album bridging 2 centuries. 25 years later, we're still feeling Supernatural's aftershocks. A generation of artists from Tom Jones to Lionel Richie attempted similar collaboration albums. Newer stars like Bruno Mars and Dua Lipa embrace Latin rhythms that Santana pioneered. And older musicians refuse retirement, knowing there's always potential for a third act. The secret behind Santana's comeback wasn't just smart marketing or lucky timing. It was the willingness to adapt without losing his soul. In his own words, "I didn't change my sound. I just let new voices sing around it." For anyone facing rejection, professional extinction, or the claim that their best days are behind them, Carlos Santana's comeback offers the most powerful message of all. Sometimes your greatest triumph waits on the other side of your darkest moment. Did you own Supernatural when it dominated the charts in 1999? Drop a comment with which track first turned you into a Santana fan, or share your own favorite music industry comeback story. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into rock's greatest resurrection, hit subscribe for more untold tales of music's most dramatic second acts.